Yes.
Cool.
And that Mary's room was the back half of this one. So to go to her room, you'd have gone through this courtway, round the back to the right, and then you would have entered her room. Above here, there was a woman called Mrs. Prater living. Over here was John McCarthy, the landlord's shop. Behind the shop, diagonally opposite Mary's room, was number 2 Miller's Court. Now that was occupied by the Keelers. On the morning of Mary's murder, at 4 o'clock in the morning, Mrs. Prater and a woman called Sarah Lewis both heard screams of murder, oh murder. Sarah Lewis had run away from her husband that morning because he was beating her, he was drunk. And she'd run to her friends, the Keelers, who lived in number 2.
Yeah.
Now, they both heard screams at 4 o'clock in the morning. Mary Kelly was seen going into the building by George Hutchinson at 2 o'clock in the morning with a man that she'd picked up down the road here, a very well-dressed man with a black hat, a long dark coat, an astrakhan fur collar and cuffs. He had a pocket watch on a gold chain that had a red fob or seal hanging from it. Now he went back to Mary with her to her room. George Hutchinson followed them and took up a position over here outside Crossingham's lodging house that stood here, and he waited outside Miller's Court for 3/4 of an hour. Assuming they arrived here at 2:15, which they would have done, he would have remained here until 3. Then he had no money, so couldn't get in a lodging house, and went off to find somewhere to bed down for the night. Nothing further was heard after he left about 3 o'clock, and he confirmed it was 3 simply because he would have been able to tell the time from the church clock opposite, which chimed every 15 minutes. He left at 3, nothing was heard for an hour until those screams at 4 o'clock.
Right. Well, I feel very, very strongly that they used the back end, like you said, you went through there. And also, as well, there was a lot more people in the back of the house.
Oh yes, because the courtway had rooms all the way down on both sides.
That's right. And also, I feel as though, like maybe not balconies, but the windows were quite open, so they used to look out and watch people walking past.
There was one small lantern inside the courtway, one just inside, not far from Mary's room. The houses were on the ground floor, and they proceeded in a row down that side, a couple at the bottom, and a row up this side.
Yeah, like a churchyard, like a yard in the middle.
An oblong.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, Mary's room, when her body was discovered, I must tell you, the door was locked. Now, there's been a great argument over the lock as to whether it was a key lock. But in those days, a lot of people had either a bolt or a catch lock. Like a lock that catches when you pull the door to. It was like a bar sort of thing. And her door was locked. The police had to kick it down. So that makes me feel that the murderer probably left by the window. Mary's window was broken. The bottom pane was broken. She'd had an argument with her boyfriend 10 days before. They'd had a fight. She'd thrown something.
Let me just also say, I think they knew who the killer was. Because I feel as though they were looking, because I feel as though the windows were latched and they used to look out, and I feel as though they knew the person.
There was a lot of trust with her. A hell of a lot of trust.
Because I'm burning here, and I'm feeling.
I'm getting. They're bitches.
I'm
they're
feeling
all
very
bitches.
strongly.
I don't know why I'm getting angry again.
I believe Mary knew her murder.
I believe she did.
Because I believe at that point in the murders, no prostitute would have gone and picked up a stranger.
No
They
way.
would have been too terrified.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think it was somebody that Mary knew.
She knew well.
She trusted.
She knew well.
She knew well. Maybe as a client before.
Yeah. And I honestly believe as well that the other people around her kept their mouths shut as well, as though they knew who it was.
I think people here would have been very, very reticent to cooperate with the police. Because in the East End, cooperating with the police
wasn't done. Wasn't done, was it?
No, it wasn't done.
So what I'm saying is, even though they had to keep everything quiet because they knew this person who did it. That's how I
knew him very, very well.
I think they did.
Very, very well.
When you look at this body, now this
Did they ever find anything under the bed or anything?
No.
No.
They found blood.
Is that all? Yeah.
They found blood soaked into the mattress.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, this body has been so decimated, it no longer looks really
Like
human.
a body, no.
He took all the skin off her face. You can see the leg here, just there. He's cut off all the inside of the thigh, the stomach. He took out the intestines, the womb. He draped those across the bed. He cut off her liver, heart, womb, kidneys.
Was he like a person that ate like
cannibal?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because he left everything behind except for the heart, which is inedible.
Yeah.
You can't eat a heart,
No.
really, a human heart.
No.
It's very tough. I don't know if you ever tried to eat heart.
No.
It's not very
Mary's
appetizing.
just picked her up again over that she's picked her up. here.
Sorry?
Mary has just picked her up here, saying blood has been coming out of her hair.
Mary?
My sister.
Oh, right, yeah,
Mary, do you
sorry.
wanna come over and tell-
It's getting confusing because Mary
Yeah.
Kelly, Mary. It's getting I'm getting confused between Marys.
I've just seen someone's head just been smashed in, blood pouring out the head.
Is that what you saw?
Yeah.
Because that's what she looked like when she was found.
So look.
Head smashed in.
Well, I honestly think he didn't actually. I mean, you're probably right, but I think he did something.
The first thing I get over there is like my stomach's being ripped open. I feel like he
Well,
did my stomach
that's what he
first.
did.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the
I
pain
think
in the
that's what
stomach
he
is
did.
over there.
But you've got to think of it. Would he be thinking, I'm going to kill someone alive, I'm going to do this to someone alive, or I'm going to do something to someone's dead, or partially?
Right, now there's a great big debate about that point, because the
could be
time of
semi,
death given by the doctors, and please understand the way they told the time of death is the same as today.
Right,
yeah.
They put a thermometer in your liver.
Yeah.
Now bear in mind, look at the state of this body.
Yeah.
The body has been open
Yeah.
like this, so the liver would cool a lot more quickly.
Yeah.
So I think the time of death given by those doctors is probably inaccurate.
Correct, yeah.
The
Yes.
screams heard might be accurate because
Yeah.
they don't agree
Yeah.
with the time of death given by the doctors.
Yeah.
Now there's two ways of looking at this. One thing is that Mary Kelly, he knocked her out, he started to mutilate the
Yeah.
body, and she came to.
Back to, yeah.
And she screamed, and
Yeah.
that's the scream that we
Yeah.
heard. The other way is she screamed and he cut her throat, and
Yeah.
that was the end.
Yeah.
We can't be sure which one it is,
Yeah.
but it's one of those two.
Yeah. I honestly feel as though she knew him as well.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
what I
knew
do.
him.
That's why I feel really strong on
And
that.
I don't think she would have gone off with
No.
somebody she didn't know,
And
not
I-
at that juncture in the murders.
And-
Women here were too terrified.
Yeah.
Because no one, because you only had to have one murder, and then everyone's sitting there petrified.
Well, imagine, by now there's been 5,
Yeah.
or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Is there any way where you can say, because they've taken a photo that you can see the reflection of the murder in the photograph?
No,
Have
no.
they done
Now
that?
this is a very interesting thing, because at the time the Victorians believed that if you died a violent death, the last thing you saw would be reflected
Yeah.
in your
Yeah,
retina.
that's right. Yeah.
But they
Is that
didn't
true?
apparently. I don't think no, it's not
No.
true.
Okay.
And they did not, as far as I know, take a close up of Mary Kelly's face. Which, if they'd have strongly believed that fact, I think they would have done.
Yeah.
But they didn't. What they did do, one thing they said was her body had been moved.
Yeah.
Now, apparently it was moved over to the edge of the bed and posed so that it was facing the window for maximum effect. So the first person who looked in that window would get a terrible shock. Bearing in mind, this is also what he did. He took, that's part of her inner thigh. That's part of the inner thigh and the stomach. That's the leg. It's been lacerated to the bone. You can see all the muscle here.
It's like a butcher, isn't it?
This is the stomach area. Can you believe it? And that is a hand, you can just see there. And that is an arm. This is a pillow
Yeah.
on the table.
So that is butcher. That is physically like a butcher.
That's
sitting there
why
going,
I believe he was a slaughtermouse.
Could have been, yeah.
Because when you look at this is the first thing that comes to your mind.
It's an art.
Yeah.
You know, like that German
Are you
guy?
picking up an
Yeah,
anger?
yeah.
It's
Hun,
like
are
him,
you
it's like
picking up an
someone who's
anger?
an artist.
An anger, yeah.
Yeah, like they're all
Bear in
bitches.
mind,
Yeah.
all
They're
slaughtermen
all
had their
bitches.
own
That's
sets
right.
of knives
You're like
in
me, you're
those
picking
days,
up,
which
you
they
might be, I
used to
don't know if it's
carry.
him or
That's
not.
right.
They're
That's
all
right.
In a
bitches.
kind
Yeah.
of leather pouch.
They all deserve it. They're
Yeah.
all bitches. I'm not sure who
Stories
I'm
about
picking
that.
up.
I
Or
honestly
they say
think
he
it's
had a
something to
pouch
do with how he was
or
brought
a
up as
bag.
well.
But you
You
look
know,
at that. to that,
Something-
you look at
how
that,
he was brought
that
up.
That is how that German guy would have done it. If he did it, he would have done it something like that.
But it was like a
So it
pride
is-
in his
it's-
work.
Yeah.
to them,
There was so much pride.
definitely-
murder is art.
Sculpture, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to say something here. I feel that is that Mary? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that this person knew, but I thought she was going to go somewhere else, but she decided to go to this room.
It was
No,
opportunity.
this was her own room.
No, but I honestly believe she was going somewhere else, but she decided to come home.
Yeah, she might have done. She might have debated on whether
Yeah.
she should do him
Oh,
on the street.
yeah.
And then
But she-
maybe he offered her more money.
That's right,
if
that's
we
why
go
she took it,
indoors.
that's why-
Because I think Jack the Ripper deliberately on this particular night looked for a woman who had a room.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is simple. Up until that time, he'd killed on the street.
Yeah.
But on the night of the double event,
Uh-huh.
he was nearly caught
Uh-huh.
after the second murder. The police were only 5 minutes behind him. I think that gave him the horrors. And there was a big 6-week gap after those murders and when he killed Mary. And I think because there were so many people out looking for him, police, local people, and vigilantes, that he was terrified to kill on the street because he thought he might get caught.
Right.
And he deliberately targeted a woman who had a room.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Because
And
I
demanded to go inside.
honestly think it was. Yeah, I think she wasn't going to be there, but she decided to take him there.
Yeah, because he probably
Yeah.
asked to go
Yeah,
in.
that's right. So he knew where he was going anyway. Do you understand what
It's
I
like
mean?
it's planned.
No, he
yeah,
was going
this is
in the
planned.
But he wanted it to be private, like you say, because
Because he wanted to have fun.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
his idea of fun.
This
Yeah.
was his idea of fun.
yeah,
And then he could do exactly what he
right?
wanted to do to the
And it's
person.
also warning to other people.
Yeah.
If you don't
I'm
do
serious.
what I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen to you.
But the funny thing is, he never killed again after this.
So that's a huge
And you have to
statement for-
ask why.
that's a statement.
Never
that.
That is,
failed,
this is
never
a statement.
called, that
And the
was his
reason I
last
believe he
act.
never killed again is I strongly believe that Jack had syphilis. And the reason I say that is simple. 80% of the prostitutes were infected with
Yeah, yeah.
syphilis. If he was a man who consorted with prostitutes, there's an 80% chance he would have caught it.
Yeah.
And if you were a man and you caught syphilis, which is a killer disease in those days,
Yeah.
no cure whatsoever,
No.
how would you feel about prostitutes?
How long?
Very angry.
How long would it take for someone with
To
that
do that?
disease to
A
die?
long time. Well, if he cut her throat first, she would have died.
No, no, no,
immediately.
not
Immediately.
talking about that. But I'm talking about if he got the sexual transmitted disease. How long would it take?
Oh, syphilis is a very funny disease. You catch it, it comes out in a sore, a very minor sore, it goes away, and it lays dormant for anything from 8 to 20 years.
All right.
And then it comes back again, and it attacks the brain,
I
and it
just.
turns you psychotic. Haha.
Yeah,
Don't you
yeah.
think this is a
Yeah.
psychotic person?
Yeah, yeah.
Wendy, did you pick
But also, I feel as though it's the way he was brought up as well. You know, and he's maybe something to his background
The
in his
FBI
family.
would thoroughly agree with
Do you
you
understand what I
because
mean?
they're-
I also feel there was a lot of women around him when he was younger as well. You know, he wasn't really a man.
But could that be art? Could that be an artist and some kind of
No,
art?
I don't think so.
No, that wasn't an artist.
No, I don't think so.
He was proud of that.
The FBI,
He was proud of
in
that.
1988, they did a criminal personality
Yeah.
profile of Jack. Now, bear in mind, they
Yeah.
were the most qualified
Yeah,
police
yeah.
force to do this. In that profile, they said that they strongly believed he was the son of a local prostitute
Yeah.
who treated him appallingly as
Yeah.
a child,
Yeah,
probably got drunk every night, was
yeah.
out with all different
that's
men,
right. Yeah.
physically and sexually
And he didn't know his
abused him.
father. And he
And
didn't
he
know
didn't have any
didn't know-
father.
Do you understand what I
He was
mean?
probably a client's son.
He knew everyone like their uncle or
Yeah,
you know who was
his
coming
uncle.
in. And
And
I'll tell you
the-
what, he came from a very respectable area as well. This man. He wasn't. He
He
wasn't.
weren't from
As I
here.
said
He
earlier,
was not from
what
here.
about if it's royal connection? Can you see
Well,
royal
you know,
connection?
I mean, I just feel as though whatever this man, whoever he was,
People knew.
he was a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
Because to do all this,
art.
my father's a butcher, and my father couldn't do all that.
No.
The slaughterman
like-
could, though.
Well, my father used to go to slaughterhouses when he was younger.
Yeah, but believe you me, they can do that.
Well,
Especially
I've
that.
asked them.
yeah,
Especially
but what I'm s-
that.
I've asked them. I've asked butchers actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I found out from a butcher a few weeks ago that meat at the time and still today is killed between 11 at night and 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
The reason is it's more restful for the
That's
animals.
right.
That's
That's
because
right.
they're half dozy
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
And the same thing happened then. So bear in mind, there were 76 slaughterhouses in this area, and slaughtermen would have been a common sight
Yeah.
on the street,
Yeah.
dressed in blood-stained
Was
aprons.
Spitalfield Market open that time?
Spitalfield Market was open, but it was fruit and veg. Smithfield Market
You
was
see, and also as a child, I feel as though he was hemmed in. Really, he wasn't really. He didn't have an emotion. He didn't have a lot of an emotional intelligence, really, because he wasn't allowed to go out and mix. Do you understand what I mean?
So
I
he could have
feel.
been a prostitute child
Yeah.
who was
Left in the house.
in the care of other prostitutes.
Yeah,
when
I
she
feel
went to
so.
work.
That's
Turn
right.
about.
And the name of Anne or Annie is coming through as well, so I don't know who that is, because I just feel as though he used to live near a pub or somewhere, because that's where a lot of these prostitutes used to be. I don't think it was round here.
No, I
actually.
don't think. I'm getting the letter H, so I'm not actually sure where this is, but I'm getting H.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that like a barrel or something underneath the bed?
That was the
That's
piss
blood.
Is that
Isn't
right
it? Probably
there?
blood. It soaked through the
Blood.
mattress.
That's blood, that.
Yeah,
Soaked
it did
through the
soak through
mattress.
the mattress. His mattresses weren't that
Yeah,
thick in
no,
those
no.
days.
You know,
And he moved the body. The reason I know that is because there was a pool of blood, and the body was to the side of the
Yeah.
pool of blood, so they knew that the body had been moved.
yeah, yeah.
There was a lot of disturbance on this body.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
a lot of disturbance, and there was not a lot of evidence that was missed
Yeah.
because there was too
Oh, I
much
can believe
disturbance
that.
on
Yeah.
that. There was
Because the
too much
police-
disturbance.
The police.
I tell you what,
flooded
They'd
into that
cocked up.
room.
I feel as though the police were scared of this.
Yeah.
You know, in a way of they couldn't get him. So what I'm saying is, I think this is why the FBI.
They had that nowadays. They'll have him.
Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
was too much disturbance.
Yeah.
There was too much to and
The
fro and all
first
that.
policeman to go in this room was
You've
Walter
got another
Drew.
tour. Yeah,
he
you've got
went
another
with
tour.
the inspector, and Walter Drew said that this site haunted him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He could never get it out of
Yeah.
his mind.
Yeah.
But could it
It was
be
so horrific.
Could it be, because you said because it's a prostitute and whatever, could it have been something that it was thinking of his mum?
Maybe.
Every time he do it.
Yes,
Maybe.
quite possibly.
Maybe.
Thinking, I want to get my own back on my
That's
mum.
right.
Quite
Yeah.
possibly, yes.
I feel as though
And also, if he had, there's another thing. I said infected with syphilis. Please realise if his mother had syphilis,
yeah, you don't
Yeah.
know.
and he was born to
Yeah.
her, I think he could have been born with syphilis.
Syphilis. Yeah. It's like nowadays people are born with AIDS, aren't they?
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
You know.
So I've
And in those
also
days, there
I
was no
think
drugs to cure
also
that. No penicillin.
also I think I know he knew her, but this lady reminded him of someone as well.
His mother.
Maybe.
Strangely enough, she was known as Black Mary.
Oh,
And I
right.
don't know why that was. I think it was because she had very dark hair. I
Yeah.
don't think she was dark skinned.
No.
She was Irish.
Yeah.
So, me envisioning her being Irish, a lot of the Irish are, if they're from
Yeah.
Southern Ireland, which she was supposed to
Yeah.
be from Limerick, they have very dark hair and blue
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that was probably how
Yeah.
Mary
So
was.
they have never got an original picture of what she looked like before.
You'll never
There's
get
no
that.
original.
You'll never
Never
get
got
that.
that.
There was of Annie Chapman, but not of
There's
Mary
also
Chapman.
a lot of these photographs that you'll never see.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? I think there's
Did
been
they
a lot
ever find
hidden.
her body? I mean, she's buried.
Yes, she's buried in St Patrick's Lane.
So if they, I'm just saying, if
They
they
buried
dug her
what
up,
was left.
I know, but if they dug her up and they took, like they watched all these programs,
Yeah.
they could take the skull and make a model and see what she would have looked like.
Well, they could do, but I don't think they would be allowed to
No.
interfere with the
No.
grave, because I think that would be,
Yeah.
It's protected, isn't it?
well, you can't really
No.
go digging up corpses.
But I honestly think
Unless you
that
need to.
I honestly think he knew. He knew.
No, there was too much. There was too much interference with that body. For
Well,
actually get
what
the
I'm saying
DNA.
is, I think this Mary reminded him of someone. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Maybe his mother.
And you see, I think the reason they got progressively violent is here. He had no reason to think that he was going to be disturbed.
Yeah.
He's in four walls.
That's right.
Nobody's going to come.
Yeah.
It's her room.
Yeah,
Condition.
Out on the
He's
street
getting-
is a whole different ball game.
that's right. Yeah,
You can always have someone walk past the corner,
Yeah.
a policeman,
yeah.
turn the corner and catch you.
But you know
Here,
what? It
no,
might have been
no
annoyed.
chance.
It might have been annoyed from that sign that made her thinking, right, I got to kill her now, because she's going to.
Oh no, he did careful preparation. Mary had a stub of candle that big. The candle would have
Might have
run
gone
out.
out, yeah.
He lit clothes
Yeah.
in the grate so that he would have enough
Light.
to work with. This was planned
Yeah.
when he got in that room.
That's right.
This was not done quickly.
And
This
also,
was, he took his time.
I think also he must have used, you know, his gift. Well, if you want to call it a gift, I think he like, he's a butcher, or he knew what he was doing. Yeah, he studied it. He studied the human body. You know, because the human body is not like an animal body.
That needs Cambridge.
The only thing is that pigs and us are nearly identical.
Education.
Yeah, and all
Where
that.
the organs are placed.
Maybe.
Where the organs are
Maybe.
placed.
And do you think he could have gone to like a place and gone to a butcher's and said, look, can you show me how to
No.
butcher?
No.
Maybe he could. I don't think so.
I don't think
know.
so
I think
either.
butchers, especially at that time, in the view
Yeah.
of these murders, would have thought that highly suspicious.
Yeah.
I don't think that if
But-
he'd have done it before the murders happened, maybe, but not at the time of the murders, because everybody was on edge in this area.
But
You
he's
know.
there's definitely a link between his mother and these prostitutes. You know,
Well, then his mother probably was a
maybe,
prostitute.
maybe. But I think also,
Would Freemasons be involved?
well, you see, we've got different opinions on this, because I think it was Masonic because it's the way they did the body. You know, the person used to. Well, I'm picking up because I feel as though someone used to drink the blood and all stuff like that, because it's like a Masonic.
And I just also say as well, with like an interest in astrology,
I've actually-
it would be interesting. Can I just say, Jen? It would be interesting to go back and check your dates,
Yeah.
and to see where the moon was, and what
Yeah.
phases the
Yeah.
moon we were in.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's true.
And see if it is to
And I
do
think
with
it's something
witchcraft
that
as well.
nobody's
Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
at.
Or druid, yeah.
As far as Masonic's concerned, I actually have a book at home which is written by Stephen Knight called The Brotherhood, and it's got every Masonic ritual in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And there is nothing like this, believe you me.
Well, I think
I've
you-
looked very carefully through it
I think
to
you need to
see.
check your dates. get
Witchcraft,
someone to
I
check
would,
for
I
you
would not
and to
dispute.
see where the moon
I think
is.
that's highly possible. I'm not
Because
being
if you
funny.
look at the times of the months when he did it, you know, because even though a lot of people don't believe in astrology, the moon has a lot of energy at certain times of the month. Now, whether he acted on them times of the month, I just don't know. But I think Jill's right.
Yeah.